Good, beautiful morning, everybody, and welcome to the Monday edition of Shortcuts for Your Soul. My name is William Michael Forbes. I'm a spiritual medium, a channel, and an intuitive life coach. And I have with me the energy of a collective that call themselves the Ascended, which is a collection of ascended masters that are here to basically assist us in remembering who we are. Good morning, Drusilla. And one of the things that they said to me this morning, it's important you get people to become aware of the distraction action. That's what they said to call it, the distraction actions that are going on right now. You see, in this world, there is a massive shift going on in the collective unconsciousness of humanity that is primarily directed by individuals and authorities that have their own personal control and power as the priority over you. And they have created a myriad of distractions. Therefore, the term distraction actions. They've created many distractions for you to stay out of your sacred temple. They want you to stay outside of your sacred temple, to be caught up in this thing and that thing and all of these other things around you. The distraction action is designed to keep you not evaluating, not examining, not altering, not changing what you believe. Rather, allowing others to shape and form the beliefs that they want you to have. So such activities as your gladiator games, your sports, where your attention is outwardly directed, and you have your advertisements and the announcements and all these wonderful things that are given to keep you externalized, keep you distracted from yourself, to prevent you from evaluating what you have been believing. And everyone that will hear these words, wherever you hear these words from, know that it is the beliefs that you have right now. Whether you are aware you have them or not, what your life is at this moment is what you believe. And most of what many of you believe did not even originate with you. You've been taught to believe that working certain hours every day for many, many years is going to make you happy. You've been taught to believe that X amount of money will make you happy. You've been taught to believe that doing a certain thing will result in your happiness. And if you do not examine your beliefs, then you will be caught up in the distraction actions. The myriad of things around you, the political modalities and nuances, the monetary and social events that occur around you that are designed to distract you from evaluating your beliefs, the fears that are propagated, the doubt and uncertainty that they say, look out there, there's something out there, pay attention, you could be in trouble. They keep you in fear, in the belief of fear. And your life as it is at this moment is the sum total reflection of all the beliefs that you've been given by the world around you and those in positions of control and authority. Those in your so-called war zones are living according to certain beliefs that they've been giving. Those that are living in mansions are living in certain beliefs that they've been given or have acquired. Or you can change your belief from one state to another, but it must be done volitionally. You must be willing to go inside your own mind, to observe your words and actions, so that you can begin to evaluate what beliefs you currently have. But you cannot evaluate your beliefs if you are distracted. If you're distracted by that fear and that worry and this sports team and that thing out there and that earthquake and that volcanic eruption, and you're distracted by all of these things. And so how can you possibly go into your own house and clean it up? You cannot. You cannot clean your house if you are outside of it. And everything as your life is now is your belief. The ones acquired and the ones you've chosen. Mostly the beliefs that you have are acquired. Very few begin the path of evaluation to examine Why do I think this? What makes me believe that about them or the other or this thing? Very few are able to evaluate their beliefs because of the distraction actions that are happening around you. Your news, your so-called education, everything designed to keep you outside of your own house, to prevent you from evaluating and examining what is in your mind that is responsible for your experiences, for what you hold in your heart, so it is in your life. What you hold in your heart in the form of belief is what your life is right now. And unless you're able to go into the house and examine what you've got inside there, what has been given to you, many of you are like immigrants in your own mind. You come into your mind for the first time and you go, oh my goodness, what a mess. I don't want to look at that. You've been kept foreign to your own land. You've been told to pay attention to that and this and the other. And then you look inside and say, oh, this is terrible. I don't want to look at that. But you must. It is the only way you will change how the distraction actions control and manipulate you. The so-called entertainment, the external world becoming so seductive to you that you only look outside. You never turn your gaze inward to evaluate, why do I think and feel what I think and feel? From whence came this belief and this idea? And so your ruling classes and those that rule the rulers have very specific beliefs that they know that if you had those beliefs, you would be as they are. And so they convince you that poverty is real. And they convince you that suffering is necessary. And they convince you that there's too many of you. And they convince you that disease is rampant. And they convince you that you must have a leader to tell you what to think and to say and to do. And these are all distraction actions that keep you outside of evaluating what your belief is, what your faith is. For what your faith is, so it is in your life. And if you've been given belief and you accept it, then it is in your life. Fundamentally, there's nothing wrong with any of you, except that you have not learned how to evaluate or change the belief, the ideas, because you are so distracted by the outside world. You are kept distracted. You must understand this. This is very deliberate. And we are very deliberate in saying you must go inside your own house. Evaluate what has been put in there. It is if you sometimes have moved into a new house and it's all furnished incorrectly and the walls are not painted properly and you don't like what's inside there. Well, you can change it. When you look inside your mind and you look at those uncomfortable emotions, you can change them. You can change them. Or you can continue to let the distraction actions control you and manipulate you, get you to believe and think and act in the ways that go against the very fabric of your own divine happiness. You were designed as a creating intelligence, not as an automaton. You're designed to be a creating intelligence, not a puppet on the strings of other people's beliefs and ideologies. You have the same divine power in yourself as the richest and the poorest. You have the access to life itself within you to use it or abuse it according to your belief and your faith. But the distraction actions happening around you prevent you from even evaluating what is going on inside yourself. Why do you actually feel the way you feel? Why do you actually think the thoughts you think? And if you begin to evaluate the distraction actions, your so-called entertainment and your news and your television and your politics and your social systems, your monetary systems, they all keep you externalized. They're designed to keep you wanting and needing, desiring, and not having all at the same time. And the moment you say, wait a minute, I will not be distracted by the world anymore, I'm going to go within my mind and my body and evaluate what I keep in my house. What has been put there? Somebody furnished my house before I moved into it, and they did not put in very good furniture. And what we refer to when we say that is when you were born into this world, your environment gave you many things, beliefs and ideas, experiences that build a structure in your mind that you call your personality, your beliefs, your memories, your emotions that are not actually you, but the substance of information you've acquired from the world, which you of your own volition must choose to change. However, many of you have been taught to believe that the only way what you feel inside yourself can change, or what you think in your mind can change, is from something outside of you. And this is exactly what the distraction action is all about. They can keep you impoverished. They can keep you angry. They can keep you at each other. They can pit you one against another. You sit and you watch these gladiator games where one team is against the other and one will win and one will lose. And you think it is just a game, but you look in the world, there are some that are winning and some that are losing. Some have been taught the belief of win and some have been taught the belief that they will lose. But as long as you remain dependent on the outside as being the source that is going to liberate you, then you will not understand how to liberate yourself. And that liberation begins when you consider the nature and source of your ideas, your thoughts, and your beliefs. From where did they come? That question in and of itself will get you to evaluate, looking back on what you call your past. You were taught that you were good, or you were taught that you were bad, or you were taught that you were pretty, or you were taught that you're not very nice. You were taught that you have so much potential, but you're not really that very good at things. You've been taught many things, but they are just beliefs. They're not who you are. No matter what you may believe, they are still just beliefs. And you may change your beliefs if you so choose to do so. If you choose to do so. But you of your own free will must make that choice. You can surrender the act of choosing to the distraction actions around you, what your teachers tell you, what your politicians tell you, what your friends tell you, what your family tells you. You can surrender your will to the outside, which is what it has been designed for you to do. It's been designed so that you would not look inside your own house and clean it up. It's been designed that way. There are very specific individuals in this world that know full well that they keep you distracted, that you cannot change other than what they've been told to tell you to believe. They know that if you question your beliefs, they will not be able to control you. And this is why the distraction actions are so important. This catastrophe and that calamity. Oh, and this man is pretending to be a woman, but they're actually a man, and so on. Distraction actions are very, very precisely and exacting in terms of being able to keep your attention outside of your own house, where you can. It's the only place you can make changes, instead of being distracted by the actions of that around you. At what point will you choose? At what point will you choose to surrender the distraction actions and begin to look inside and correct and liberate yourself from the anger that has been placed in your mind, the fear that has been placed in your mind, the guilt and the shame that has been placed in your mind, the distrust that has been placed in your mind by these distraction actions, so-called entertainment and other distractions of the external form, that keep you disconnected from the very divinity that exists within you. You need to know this, that there is a divinity that is in you, and that you can become one with that divinity when you begin to look inside, when you get past the distraction actions. And the layers are very interesting, because if they cannot keep you distracted outside, they will put distractions inside you. Anger, fear, guilt, and shame that are very unpleasant and uncomfortable to look at inside yourselves. And so you look at them, oh, that doesn't look very nice. I will go back to my action distractions out there. And you go back out there trying to find peace. And the only way you'll free yourself of the distraction actions is to fearlessly go within the confines of your own mind, to evaluate the thoughts, the emotions, and the beliefs that do not serve you, and to recognize that you have the capacity to change your thoughts, which ultimately changes your beliefs. But without that knowledge, you are wholly dependent upon two things, either the distraction actions of the external world or the distraction actions of your mind, which you receive from the external world. The layer of the persona that you have, the identity given to you by the world, is that other layer, that fail-safe that these in positions of authority and control have benefited from for tens of thousands of years, that you would be kept in subjectivity for many lifetimes to this thing called a personality. And if not to the personality, then to the things of the world, the wars and your enemies and the things that are going to get you from the world. And so these two positions, they keep you as the soul trapped between the outside world and the inside world. You're in purgatory. You're too fearful to evaluate and examine your thoughts and beliefs and emotions in your own mind. And so you avoid them. And then you find yourself sandwiched between the external world of war and poverty, greed. And you don't want to examine that. And so you're stuck going back and forth from one difficulty to another. And yet the moment you put one aside and you question the other, you will begin to liberate yourself. You will begin to liberate yourself from what you call in your language the matrix, the constructed reality, the illusion, the Maya, where you can put aside the personal construct that keeps you restricted to limiting beliefs and ideas that you've been given. And there's only a small percentage of you that are waking up, relatively speaking, that are beginning to say, wait a minute, why do I think this? Why do I speak like this? Why do I do these things? Only a small percentage of you are questioning that. But there's many of you on the verge and cusp of awakening fully to knowing this is not right. What they tell me, what they say I must do or should do, this is not right. But until you can question what you have been taught to believe, you cannot effectively change that around you, which would keep you trapped in it. For they have made certain that what they've taught you to believe internally and what they demonstrate to you externally are designed to keep you trapped between the two. And yet if you go beyond the layers of your personality, if you get your mind and your body quiet, you liberate yourself from its noise, and you liberate yourself from the noise of the world, you will begin to encounter yourself as you actually are, as this luminescent, exquisitely unique, divine individual that has the capacity to affect and change time, space, and matter as an act of your own volition. Not simply some automaton hoping that you'll be programmed or led into a better life, rather than recognizing you're a divine creator. You can create the life that you would wish to create. So these distraction actions, we encourage you to become very conscious and mindful of them. You see, there are so few of you here right now with us. This is what we're saying. There are many billions in this world that do not know what you are here to learn. And yet one of you could affect many thousands or many millions when you break free of the distraction actions and you begin to go into your house and you clean it up. You expunge the beliefs and thoughts that do not serve you. You get rid of deception, anger, fear, judgment, guilt, and shame, and learn the function of discernment, which lets you know what is true and what is false from the divine perspective and not the human perspective. And the human perspective is a constructed one, sustained and maintained by those in positions of authority and have been for many thousands of years. The distraction actions become very prolific when the end of such a civilization is upon you. You go back to what you would call your Roman times, and that system of rule still exists today. But the civilization that you called then has collapsed for the most part. under the sheer weight of its own neglect, but has resurrected itself in this time using the exact same formula, the exact same distraction actions. Distraction actions are designed to get rid of any opposition. You do realize that war is a device and a mechanism for getting rid of opposition to these that would say, you must believe this, you must accept this, whether because we say it. War, poverty, these are all manifestations, action distractions to keep you in fear, to trust in a system of leadership that greatly benefits from your time and your effort and your labor, but from which you do not. You do not even benefit from your own time and labor, because those you have been taught to believe that know better than you are controlling you and manipulating you. And simply because they have more money and more physical freedom, you think that they are somehow better than you. There is no being in all of creation that is better than you. When you understand the nature of what you are, the structure of personality does have good and not so good. The structure of the human world is based in good and evil in the realm of polarity. But in the true nature of your divinity, there's a very different way in which you would conduct yourself. A very different way in which you would allow your mind to think, how you would let your body say and do. But we came here today through this one simply to articulate that the distraction actions are all around you and very loud. The things in the sky, the poisons in the earth, all of these things to keep you outside of your house. And when we say your house, we mean your consciousness. They keep you trapped in your body. They keep you trapped in your thinking that they have given you. And so many of you do not even consider formulating your own thoughts, your own ideas, or your own beliefs. Many of you here have learned to do this and are effectively on that journey of freedom, recognizing that nothing outside of yourself can distract you from being that which you are. But be mindful of the many hundreds of millions that are desperately on the cusp of awakening to this. That are saying, we know that this poverty, we know that this government rule, we know that taxation, we know that pain and suffering are not the natural way of a divine consciousness. There are hundreds of millions of you that are knowing, they're on the cusp of realizing what we were being told to accept and believe is not true any longer. And these hundreds of millions are in the process of awakening now. And those in positions of authority and power are trembling, which is why you will see big distraction actions, diseases and pandemics and the air and a catastrophe and this and that. They will keep you in the external realm. They'll keep you in the fear they've given you to keep and carry for them. They'll keep you in the anger and the judgment of each other. They'll keep you one against the other. And as long as they can do that, you will remain knowing that there's something not right, but unable to change anything because you're caught up in the distraction actions. And yet you can surrender the distraction actions. And many of you say, oh, it's too difficult. We can't stop doing what we're doing. We must continue to pay our taxes. We must do this. We must do that. Otherwise, things will break. No, the people that steal from you, if you stop giving them what they steal, they cannot steal from you. There are action distractions that you, when you awaken, can perform. You can say, no, I will not accept that belief. And there's hundreds of millions of humans that are on the cusp of this awakening, of clearly beginning to know what is right and what is wrong, where the evil truly is. There is nothing of sin in any human born in flesh. Contrary to what you've been told for thousands of years, you are born in the pure heart of the divine. You are not born as sinful or evil. You are taught evil by your environment, by those in positions of authority that gain advantage from you believing that you are less than you are. You were born in divine love. And they have made it righteous to kill the unborn under the belief that you were born in sin. You do not see the subtle manipulation there, but it is there. Oh, we don't want more sinners in the world. That's the subtle underlying current they've taught you to believe. And so you don't even believe that life is sacred, many of you. Not because you don't want to believe that life was sacred, but you've been taught not to believe that. And as long as you're not questioning what you've been taught, then you will simply replay it. And distraction actions keep you outside of evaluation. And so these hundreds of millions that are about to awaken, be a beacon of truth by liberating yourself from what you've been taught by these distraction actions. Surrender the lies they've been feeding you, the confusion they feed you about man and woman. They use the action distractions to keep you confused and uncertain and afraid because they can control you. And they do control most of you. But they're reaching that point where the control is about to collapse, and many are going to awaken, and they will flee to their hidden cities in the earth. And they will leave you to figure out the mess that they leave behind. Unless you awaken now and know that nothing they can do can stop the flow of God's will and God's love. Nothing another can do can stand in the face of divine will, of which you are an intimate and intricate part. But if you believe that you are evil, how can you possibly be divine? So you've been taught to believe that you are sinners. So how could you accept that you could be one with God? How could you accept that you could be one with God if you've been taught that you are sinful? This was not a consideration that we ever spoke of. No ascended master in your history has ever said that you are evil. Ever. Ever. That was written in for the purpose of control and manipulation, to keep you in the belief that there's something fundamentally wrong with you when there isn't. But if you believe there is, then so it shall be. As a man believeth in his heart, so he shall be. We're using man as the generic term for humanity, in case you do not understand, or you are caught up in the action distraction of confusion. You must understand that you've been made to be confused. They have taught you confusion. And if you accept it, you believe it, you will be confused. And in confusion, there's no function of creation. If you are in doubt, you cannot function with certainty in creation. If you are angry, you cannot function with true, authentic power in creation. The distraction actions are designed to keep you out of your house, to keep you from realizing your divinity. The reason he says, greater things than I shall you do, is true when you recognize that you are not what they've told you you are. That you are one with the divine in your consciousness. But that you must get ideas and beliefs that do not reflect that divinity out of your mind. And how can you get them out of your mind when you're constantly being bombarded and distracted? To believe that this culture is evil and bad, and this one is good. Or people that do this are this. You've been taught to believe many confusing things. And the divine is not confused at all. God has no confusion whatsoever. Nor do his children that know him. There's no confusion whatsoever. None. There's only confusion in manipulation and deceit. And so the distraction actions of your entertainment and your gladiator games, your social and economic and political machinations are deliberately structured to keep you distracted. And so very few of you go inside. But all of you know something is not right. Everyone in this world knows the truth that something is not right. And it's not with who you are. It's with the way these certain individuals, and there are not many of them, the way these certain individuals have recognized they could keep you distracted with certain actions, games, and ideas and stories, the pursuit of wealth and power and control. And they can direct you wherever they wish because they know that you follow the Pied Piper. You know the story of the Pied Piper. And they know the songs to play and have been doing so, and more so now that technology is evolving. So this is the time to awaken yourself, to clean up your house, to question what you've been taught to believe, to question what others tell you to believe. Even what we would say, question it. If it is true, you will know it in your heart. If you feel conflicted and uncertain, then you can know for certain that there's a distraction action at work, either in your own mind or in what you're perceiving. For truth will always bring relief. Truth will always bring relief. A lie will always bring further compounding confusion. And this is how you know, in the simplest way, what is true and what is false. Truth will always bring relief. A lie will always bring greater confusion and uncertainty. And they depend upon your uncertainty because they put it there in the first place in their educational mechanisms, in their entertainment mechanisms. They've ensured that you would be uncertain enough that you would not trust your brother or your sister or your neighbor because they could do something to you at any moment, right? That's what they've taught you. That this religion or that person could do something to you. And so we'll simply say this in closing with you today. The distraction actions of the world are manifold. The planes in the sky, spraying, the chemicals in the world, the politics, the money, the social structures, all of these dynamics they create for you to pay attention to outside of yourself are designed to keep you distracted from remembering who you truly are. Beautiful soul. Wonderful, beautiful soul that you are. To recognize your own light and divinity without the distractions of the world around you. To go in your house and say, look at what they put in my mind. They put anger in me. They put fear in me. They put guilt in me. I've got to release this. Clean your house. But you cannot clean the house if you do not open the door and look inside. And that door is what you've been taught to believe. Your so-called systems of education, educational instruction, from what you would call the formative years to the adult years of learning in these places called universities. They are still giving you information and idea that does not fundamentally incline you to look internal to yourself and your being and what the meaning of beliefs and ideas are. So you must open the door in your own mind and look inside and see what has been put in there. And you will know the truth. And you will know the truth because you will feel relief when you, oh wait, I've been taught to believe that black people are not good. I've been taught to believe that white people are evil. Where did I learn that belief? Why do I believe that? What is the evidence? Very few of you want to open the door of your mind and look inside and say, where did these beliefs come from? Where did the belief that being physically unfit is good? Where did I learn that being grotesque in my body is good, to feed it crap? Where did I learn that belief? I'm loving it, right? You've been taught many ways to believe certain things are not good for you and accept them as good. And this is how they keep you trapped. They keep you trapped in your suffering. And they offer you possible relief. That you may come to this doctor or this person and find relief in your suffering. Out there we will show you how to find relief. And we say no. Your freedom and relief and liberation from this world occurs within you when you know the truth and you discard that which is not true. And we shall leave you with that consideration. We shall leave you with that consideration. The distraction actions of the world are manifold. be mindful of what you've been taught to believe. For many of you did not even choose what you believe. You've simply been given and told what to believe. And until that is questioned and changed, you are bound by your belief. For as you believe, so it is. And so it is right now in this moment in your life. You are living in the belief that you have, the belief that you have formulated for yourself or have accepted from the world. And this is the fundamental truth to it all. That what you believe, so it is right now in your life. And so it shall be until that belief changes. We wish you much love and joy in spending this time with us today. Wow. I like that. That's a lot of fun. Thank you so much, The Ascended. I really appreciate this truth. Distraction actions. When they first told me that this morning, it was like, yeah, I get it. I get it. Good morning, Bridget. Hi, sweet fairy-ish. Wow. So yeah, so they'll find many ways. They'll find legal jurisdictions. They'll find all kinds of ways to keep you externalized, right? That's what they were telling us. There's all kinds of distraction actions, legal systems, political systems, social systems, many things to keep you disempowered in their illusions, in their beliefs. Hi. Morning, Con. Good to see you. Yeah, remember to like, subscribe, share, follow, give it a thumbs up. Do what you can to get this information to others. This is the simplest explanation you can get about why life is the way it is for any one of us, right? But I like what they said, that there's hundreds of millions of people right on that cusp. They know something's not true and they're about to break through. Hundreds of millions of people around the world are ready to break through and say, this is bullshit. They're feeding us bullshit. We're done with your bullshit. Now we are going to create. We're going to stop giving you our labor. We'll stop giving you our money and our power and our authority. That your laws are meaningless in the light of God. In God's law, love one another. Not take from one or the other. Love one another. Very simple. Yeah, they are still here. Not going anywhere just yet. Bless you too, Valerie. Thank you so much. Oh yeah, for my patrons that were our patrons live only event on the 7th of this month, we are going to need to redo that meditation. The Lionsgate portholes open for about another week. So we're going to be redoing the Patreon event. I believe it was from Saturday, the 7th, I think, 7th, Friday or Saturday. Yeah, it was Friday. So Friday evening, for those of you that were at the patrons only live event, we will be, again, it will be a very different event, but it will be in regards to the function of the restoration of love to the human collective unconsciousness, while getting ourselves much closer to the divinity inside ourselves. So you will receive a notification later today for the date and time of the review. It has to happen this week though, because it's a very important energy happening on the planet right now. Very important energy that we're bringing to the planet. Thank you. Will you upload the Patreon tape soon? It did not record, Daniela. That's why we're doing, for some reason, this is the second time it's happened. So the people that were there on Saturday or on Friday for the Patreon, you had a very rare and unique event, because in 7 years, that's only happened twice where the event didn't get recorded properly. So that's something that we all get to cherish and enjoy. And there'll be a revisiting of the process of what the fundamental outcome of it is, which is, again, to restore love to our collective unconsciousness. Hi there. Yeah, we should have a few more people here than we do, but that's okay. It's not about the numbers, they said. It's about the energy. We broadcast the energy out as an act of our own consciousness. And I know that, like on TikTok and Facebook and YouTube, there are restrictions that have been placed on my account that prevent a lot of the algorithms from reacting and responding, which we can effectively change. I can't do it myself. I need your help to do that. We need your help. Divine entity, even Jesus did not operate alone. Buddha, Yogananda, Zarathustra, they all needed other people to affect the function of the divine that they were articulating to the world. So it can't be done. It's not a one-man job. It's all of us are in, we're either in or out. So yeah, share this information out. Encourage people to come out to live events on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. Encourage yourself to share this. Share the link from the video with other people. There's a class action lawsuit against Facebook in Canada. That doesn't matter. We should be firing every politician in Canada. Every politician in Canada should be fired, especially those in the Liberal government who, again, are just distraction actions. Remember, they're just distraction actions. We need to stop paying our government's taxes. We need to start holding them accountable for how they misuse our money. Very simple. I'm speaking as William now. We have to actually do that. We don't hold them accountable. And the voting system is not accountability. It's just a system they've created so that they can manipulate you into doing what they want you to do anyway. No, literally, there should be laws put in place immediately in Canada that any politician or political party that fails to deliver on what they say, everyone's fired. Period. That's what needs to happen. They all need to be fired, from Carney right down to the bottom of the NDP ladder. Every politician in this country needs to be fired. We don't need them to run our world. We can do just fine with each other, and we have for thousands of years. Anyway, sorry, that's my personal thing, and I don't normally get into that realm anymore, because they've asked me not to do that, but I couldn't help. Is there anything you can say if that lawyer will still help me? Yes, just stay in the belief that he will. He will. I had to get rid of credit cards on iPhone, so I can't pay for membership that way. Is there another way of paying for? Is there another way of paying for Patreon membership? You can hook your bank account up to Google Pay and use Google Pay. I believe that's another option for you. Yeah. Yeah. How do you get rid of a psychic vampire? This is a really great thing. Remember, you cannot mix oil and water. And they tell me this all the time. When you move into a certain state of energy, you only attract what that energy is. So if you're attracting energy vampires, it's because you've either got fear, anger, guilt, you've got low vibrational energy inside you. Liberate yourself into the energy of love. Like when you meditate, go into a state of love and grace and let that state fill you and radiate out from you. You don't need to do anything other than that. Live, speak, and act from that love. An energy vampire cannot be around you when you're in a high frequency, especially if it's truth. Especially if it's truth. They'll flee. Vampires will flee from the truth very quickly, right? It's like politicians, they hide behind not saying anything. Mark Carney doesn't want to address the fact that he's misspending Canadian funds, that he's doing all these improper things out of integrity, gaining benefit from his position for no particular reason. But nobody questions him on the truth, and those that do, he just ignores them, right? That's what they do. They ignore you. So yeah, you just get into a vibration of love, Lauren. Like really, like go deeply into a vibration of love and only allow that vibration to be part of your makeup. Transmit it, and that be it. The vibration of love will orchestrate different energy in your life. The vibration of fear will orchestrate different events in your life. The vibration of anger will organize different events in your life. Psychic vampires are there because you've got a space for them to suck on. When you're not in anger, fear, or frustration, you will not attract those energies anymore. You won't. Remember that. Hi. Yes, we know that. Hi. Some comments in the live were filtered. Let's see what was filtered. I want to see what was filtered. I always like filtered comments. We like filtered comments, don't we? One new message. Hi, I'm just scrolling up to see what we got. Thank you for the gifts, by the way. Thank you so much for the gifts and the hearts. Because I'm looking in two different I've got two different. I'm live streaming on 3 different platforms, so I can't always see when the gifts are happening. Especially if I'm letting them speak through me, they're not interested in how many gifts and how much money or what. They're not interested in that. Their sole interest is for you to know and experience the realization of yourself as you are in the eyes and in the heart and the soul of the divine, that you are a divine entity. That's more important to them than anything else. But I'm, as William is saying, thank you so much That does help the William part out a little bit. What you offer here. Thank you. So let's see what we got. Any message as to why my back and hip have been bothering me and what to do? Thank you. Hi, Janine. Yeah, number one is the body cannot lie to you. Your body's incapable of lying. Hear these words. The body's incapable of lying. You can train it into certain behaviors, but it's incapable of lying. So when you got a pain or an ache in your body's communicating with you on the level that it can. In your case, if I tune into your energy, yeah, there's some anger there that you have not released. You got to release this anger out of the body that's stuck in the hip. You got to release that anger from the hip. Right? So the body's telling you it's got something that it doesn't need, an emotion held in the body for a long period of time. So if you accumulate anger, fear, guilt, shame, it begins to cause an effect in your body, because very specific emotions cause certain actions. Like anger will cause the face to do this. Fear might cause a face to do this. Joy, the emotional energy that gets imparted to your body affects the way it functions. It's why when you're in a certain emotional state, your biochemistry will change. So for you, this energy of anger needs to be released. Whoever that man is that's in your field, I can feel him in your field. You need to release your anger towards this person. You need to let go of your anger towards this person. Your anger harms you first. So you need to release that anger that you're harboring in your energy field. Once you release an emotion from the body will start to self-correct. I know. Yeah. I'm just going to scroll up. Thank you so much. Not a lot of questions today, but the ones that are coming are pretty darn good. Thank God. There's a filtered comment. Let's see what the filtered comments is. It says some comments were filtered. I wonder if it's about that free land in Gaza the U.S. is taking. To know the system is huge. I see it as entertainment. Sad that people suffer. Thank you so much. It is a system of confusion. It really is. But I don't know why they would filter those comments. I have no idea why they would filter those comments. There's nothing wrong with them. But anyway, I want to say thank you to the Ascended. I want to say thank you to all of you. Even though there's only, maybe 30 people here, we are small, we are mighty. Like really, a single apple seed can make an orchard. Do not underestimate your power to share this wisdom and knowledge and truth to others and the impact that it will have. If you share truth with anybody, you will awaken truth in them. If you share truth with anybody, you will awaken that truth in them, even if they don't know it's awakened. Once the seed is planted, it starts to grow. So don't underestimate the power we all have together in what we're affecting in this world by these transmissions and what we're broadcasting ourselves. I want to wish everybody much love. I look forward to seeing you guys on the Wednesday edition of Shortcuts to Your Soul. To other past students of Masterclass, as you notice, the rates on Masterclass 101 and 102 have gone up, except for repeat students at this time. And Masterclass 103, Creation, which begins this Saturday, is still at the original rate of $199 for new students and $99 for repeat students. That's U.S. funds. So if you want to, you still get the old price for the 103. This is the time to sign up. You got about a week to do so. Masterclass 103, and it's all about creation, working with the Ascended Masters on reacquiring the functional energy of creation, as it is part of who you are. You are a function of creation. And there's so much more than that. Go to my website, WilliamMichaelForbes.com. If you want to know more about that, check out Masterclass 103 Creation, which begins this Saturday with the orientation at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Have yourselves a joyful day, and patrons, you'll receive that notification today about when the redo for Friday is going to be done this week. Much love, everybody. Take good care, and bye for now.